very impressed that a bunch of non-technically assisted people can take such base material and bring it to a level of artisanship that was never meant with these things. But at the same time, there's a part of me that does not actually relate to the non-timelessness of the material used. I first heard about the Matrimandir, I think, in 1974 or 75. At the school I was studying, there was a bunch of kids who had come back from Pondicherry. And one of them told me, hey, you want to study architecture, right? And planning and all kind of things that you've been telling us? You need to go to this place where they're building one building, which is going to be an entire city. The whole city is going to be contained in one building. And this girl, who must have been like me, 13, 14, whatever it was, told me all about how there's this big building, huge building in the middle of nowhere, inside which 50,000 people are going to live. That's when I first heard about it. The next time was when I came here in 1984 as a student of architecture, and I saw this thing under construction. I was interning with Popu. So he made us go and work in the Matrimandir workshop, cleaning the clamps and the bolts and angles. I had a little bit of difficulty, not with the work, but with wrapping my mind around the idea of this temple in the middle of nowhere. I could see how the people in the local villages lived. Compared to today, 35 years ago, they lived in abject poverty. They were underfed. They didn't have actually decent clothing. Children didn't go to schools. And I would look at the structures they lived in, the kind of lifestyle they had. And I looked at Matrimandir, which in its scale and how it's envisioned is almost like money is no object, skill is no object. Just because mother wanted it and we have the faith that she wants what she wants is great and it's going to be good. And because it's great and good, it's what humanity wants. How can we not first do water supply, education, health in the area around before we say that now we want to put a monument to the spiritual intent of the project? I do understand why these grand gestures are very important to establish milestones in a culture. But most of them have this kind of very timeless use of material and logic and climate and this and that. Every time I walk through the Matrimandir gardens and I look at the gardens, very pretty, but not timeless. The amphitheater always impressed me. It has something very timeless. I don't know how, maybe it's the magic or grace or maybe inspiration, I don't know what. But the amphitheater has all the three things going for it: the scale, the proportion, and the setting. It is magnificent. And in fact, whenever I walk in through the west entrance where you're supposed to actually come in, when the whole thing is finished and you would be having the Matrimandir with the sun rising behind the Matrimandir in the east, the three main features, which is the banyan, the amphitheater, and the Matrimandir, and you look at it in terms of proportion between the amphitheater, the Matrimandir, and the banyan, there is something to the whole proportion of it in terms of scale. And that's when you get an inkling of the scale of the project that is supposed to come around it. And Auroville is definitely set around the core value of what the spiritual intent is. And the Matrimandir represents that. If I would simplify what this whole experiment about is change of human nature. We could change human nature the way Sri Aurobindo lays it out. It would bring about three things. It would make the society a non-transactional society. Second part is actually a collaborative society. Once you're a collaborative society, you do not need to have laws, regulations, police, prison, punishment. And then the third thing that would come out as an output, almost like gravity, would be diversity can exist without a hierarchy. The spiritual content of Auroville is going to bring about this. This is what the dream is about. Because just by trying it, we're doing it. And I think that's all that matters finally. Did you even try it? And I want to say yes.